So one of the minor things wrong with the van is Glovebox door is broken in that regard, but also it has a big chunk out of it up here. So we got a new one from Just Campers. I'm going to see if that is going to fit nicely. Use a hex ratchet. Should be able to get in a bit better. There we go. Hey, that's it. So only one of these is doing its job. The other one does that. This one's gone. Hinge pin's gone, I think. Plus, big chunk out the top. So let's see how easy it is to fit the Just Campers one. Looks like you've got to use nuts and bolts. First of all, it's got the snappy shut hinge on both ends. Different tooling numbers and different tooling marks, so it is a copy. Curves the same. Same finish. Let's see how they go in. So there's a nut, got to go on the back. I see, right, I'll get fresh nuts and bolts. I'm not using that horrible long screw. Put a screw in. If I can just get started, we can let it hang off it. You've got slotted holes, you can move the door backwards and forwards. You just got to get it to sit flat. That's not bad. That's about it. Ta-da! Makes the rest of the dash look a bit tatty.
Yes, it's smart, isn't it?
In order to remove the shroud from your automatic gear selector, you need to remove the knob. And to remove the knob, you look for the grub screw that's in that little hole there and release it. And as you loosen it off, the knob will actually pop up a little under its own steam. Lift it off. And when you look inside, there's a little cam operated by that, and it presses down on that little wheel. So if, like me, you're in problems with the knob being too stiff, then that little wheel, whoops, look at the condition of that, lubricate the shaft inside the outer column, and now you can take that off and get to the manky mess down there, clean it up and do some adjustments. Having already taken a load of wiring out that was related to speakers, this is still the situation underneath the dashboard of the T2. So today I'm going to see if I can clean up some more of this wiring and take it back a little bit closer to how it should be intended when it left Wolfsburg. Definitely easier to disconnect these and then work out that later. I think these were used to isolate devices in the back. Could be the rear lighting, the pump for the sink, etc, etc, because wiring headed off to a dead end but in the back underneath one of the cupboards, so no matter what, it's coming out as part of the clean up and redo. Here we have a classic Earth to ashtray. I think they'll take that one out too. I think it's a combination of the conversion stuff that's been, obviously this is a pucker conversion, it's a Viking, but it's been modded over years as things have gone wrong and been replaced with non-standard. It's just got out of hand. Plus, adding in a head unit, modern head unit. Plus, on top of that, attempts to put speakers at first, I think, in the front hidden, which is good, and then big speakers in the panel underneath the seat in the rear, not so good. And other bits and pieces, it's just expanded and expanded. There's a cigarette lighter, which I'm very worried about over there, because I don't know where that's wired to. Obviously them things can draw a bit of ampage. I'm going to basically just searching for the original Volkswagen stuff and see if we can leave all that intact. Will give me a better feeling about covering it up with a kick panel, and also I've got to sort out the ventilation in the back here of the dash, and it's just easier with less wiring. That might be the one going over to the what do you call it? I don't know. What do you call it, John? Cigarette lighter. Hopefully you can see why I'm a bit worried about the cigarette lighter. Doesn't look like the slickest of installs. So, first of all, there's its earth. Not loving that. Very probably functional. And as for positive, it is one of my mysteries. I was wondering why I was getting wet. I've just seen the one of the hoses dangling for the washers. That is the positive. So the easiest way for me to deal with that is take the fuse out. And then look at this again. Oh. The butchery. Oh my life. Why? Why the heck do you want to do that? That's just wrong. Off she comes. Why? Anyway, it's a separate issue. That's illumination for the clock because it comes off the switch, so that's livable, we can put up with that. Right, back underneath. What's that? And where does it go? That's interesting. Appears to be an ignition positive going a different route than it would originally. And that appears to go, yeah, through a grommet on the floor, down here. So it's at least interesting, so we'll be leaving that there. This bit I'm aware of, the next bit I'm not. So, like a Beetle, these things have a pressurised washer bottle. That's literally a Schrader valve. And you use that to pump up the washer bottle, and therefore you get your pressure for squirting your wash onto the screen. I never really thought about how they were operated until right now, because I thought, oh, what's that? Oh, that's a pipe, that's soft. Where's that go? Up here, over there. There's another one up here, over there. It goes into the stalks. So the wash is obviously mechanically valved. Yeah, mechanically valved to operate off this stalk. But I'm not sure. I'm guessing, oh, it's got to be that. Yep. Because the pipe I've managed to knock off by pulling the wiring out, just there. There's obviously not a lot of pressure, if any, in here, but if I pull the stalk, you can see it starts to drip. There you go. So that's a mechanical valve. There's no battery in the vehicle at the moment, so literally pipes and valves. Brilliant. I shall investigate more. So this is the kickboard for the T2. It's original equipment. It's seen better days. It's got quite a lot of damp and mould. It's generally gone off. You can see where it's been jiggled into place many a time. So I've made a new kickboard. It's only hardboard, but it's going to get trimmed and the back will get sprayed. I've tweaked the design just fractionally. Here is the main culprit. This collides with the heater controls. There's a lever that works on the up pipe to the dashboard, and this fouls, so that has changed. And here, this scallop is to allow wires coming out the bottom of the fuse box to escape behind it, but it's way too low, so I've just modded that to raise it a little bit, and hopefully it'll give a better finish. So I'm going to do a trial fit on that before trimming it. So that's a trial fit of the board. I've got the old board on the other side untouched so that you can see the difference in fit. Yep, it's gone something awry. Looking at it, my mods have worked well. That's the little cutout for the heater, so that's worked well. You can see I've raised this edge here and it's still not creating any problem for the wiring, so that's good. The hole for the vents, I've basically managed to duplicate the same issue with the original in that the bottom one really is blocked off. So So what I'm wondering about is, do I stick with that, or do I lower this cut? And I think I'm going to lower this cut just a little bit. And also it's very snug, so you know you've got to pop these into place, but it's very snug. And I'm going to add vinyl to it, so it's going to add, say, 3mm onto the overall length. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the bit by the pipe, and I think that will be a lot. So trim off the bottom of the air vent, trim off the bit by the pipe, and then we're going to go for fitting that. You note that I've also fitted it on top of that flange rather than below it, which is where it was previously. I might even try to pin this back or form it somehow to make it fit a little bit better. So I've got a sheet of my preferred vinyl with a linen, I think they call it scrim back. It stops it stretching infinitively a lot. That stops it stretching a lot. Face down on my hardboard. What I'm going to do now is just draw around the board to indicate where the board's going to land, and then spray glue this stuff onto the material and the board. There we are, not too shabby. Let's see if that fits in the hole. And if I do say so myself, not too shabby. What looks like wrinkles is the shadows of the gear stick thing. Yeah, there you go. Bit different. Quite pleased.